안녕하세요. 자, what I'm going to tell you from now on is really important. So please pay extra attention to what I'm going to say today. Let me give you some English examples first. This house is big. So you understand the meaning of this sentence, right? This is a big house. You understand this sentence too, right? Big and big, the same word. So this house is big. This big is an adjective, and it describes the state of this house. That this house is big. So it's a descriptive usage of an adjective in English. This is a big house. This is a big house. The big, this adjective describes this noun, house. So this is a house, which is big, right? So big house. So in English, the form of adjective doesn't change. Only verb forms can change. Go, went, and like play, played, eat, ate, something like that. So English verbs change their forms depending on tense and the number of the subject, like if the subject is singular or plural. So anyway, verb changes its form, but adjectives don't change their forms, right? But actually in Korean, verbs and adjectives, they both of them change their form depending on like its tense. 커요, 좋다, 좋아요, 좋았어요, something like this. So some linguists say in Korean there is no adjective. So-called Korean adjectives are actually verbs. So some people explain the distinction of verbs and adjectives in Korean as action verbs and descriptive verb, active verb, descriptive verb, and something like that. But for our class, it's actually better to understand distinguish verbs and adjectives. So I'm going to talk about the difference between them today. In Korean, when an adjective is used like this, we have learned the adjective forms for this kind of purpose. 크다 and 커요. So this is the main verb, like it functions like main verb of a sentence. 이 집은 커요. 이 집은 커요. We know how to say this kind of sentence, but we haven't learned how to describe a noun in this way, like a big house, good school, or something like that. So we will talk about them today. The textbook explains that the adjective form to describe a noun right next to it is a noun modifying form, but this term is a little bit misleading. Modify, when we say modify, it sounds like we change the noun in a certain way, but we don't really change the noun. We just describe a noun with this adjective form. So in my opinion, it is more understandable to say noun description form or something like that. So please remember, understand that way. Then what's the form? So let me give you some adjectives first. 크다, big, and 좋다, good, and 가깝다, to be close, and what else? 예쁘다, to be pretty. And we know their sentence ending forms. What's the 어요아요 form? 커요, 좋아요, and 가깝다, and the changes to 우, right? 가까워요, and ending 예뻐요. So they can be used at the end of a sentence. 학교가 커요. 학교가 좋아요. 학교가 가까워요. 학교가 예뻐요. 그렇죠. 자, 이제 let's learn how to say big school, good school, close school, pretty school. Those kind of usages. We need stem, only the stem. 크, 좋, 가깝, 예쁘. And you have to take a look at the last syllable. One syllable, and the last syllable, last syllable. And if there is no consonant, then you just add n. So 큰. And if there is already a consonant, then you add and n. 좋은. 큰 학교. This is not a sentence, but just a phrase. Big school. And 좋은 학교. Good school, right? And here comes irregular. 가깝. There is a consonant, so 은 그쵸? 이거는 irregular야. So we have 비읍 irregular. 비읍 irregular. 가깝은. In case of it changes to 우. 가까우. And we don't need this anymore. Just add just near here. So 가까운 학교. Close school. This is not irregular. This is just regular. 예쁘다, and there's no consonant here, so you add this. So 예쁜 학교. So pretty school. 아이오와 대학은 커요. Iowa, the University of Iowa is big. But you can say like same meaning but a little different way. The University of Iowa is a big school. 아이오와 대학은 큰 학교이에요. 큰 학교예요. 아이오와 대학은 좋은 학교예요. 아이오와 대학은 가까운 학교예요. 예쁜 학교예요. Something like that. So far so good. This is really important. We just talked about the irregular, so there are not many irregulars for adjective in form. Let me just give you one more irregular. There's two irregular. There are two irregulars. The irregular and 멀다 있죠? 멀다. What does it mean? To be far. 있잖아요. And we just need the stem. And let's say the school that is far away school. 멀다 plus consonant. So 은 그렇죠. So, 멀은 학교? Oh no. This is irregular. For the r ending words, we just delete them and just add 은 해서 먼 학교. 그렇죠? It's a far away school. 먼 학교는 싫어요. I don't like to go to 먼 학교. 먼 학교에 가기 싫어요. We'll learn that kind of thing later. This is it. They are not, adjective 은 is not very difficult. Just one more thing. 재미있다, 재미없다, 있다 and 없다. 재미있다, 재미없다, they are adjectives. But 있다, 없다 changes a little differently. In case of 있다, 없다, we need 는 instead of 은. So 재미있는 수업, 재미없는 영화, 재미있는 interesting or fun 수업, class. 재미없는 not interesting or boring 영화, movie. 그렇죠. 자, the form is simple. Adjective, when there is a consonant, we add an un. When there is no consonant, we just add nian here. and two irregulars, b and r. And 있다, 없다, they change a little differently. So yeah, that is it. It looks simple, but when you actually use it in speech, then it's kind of confusing. So let's practice more in class. 감사합니다.